we're in playoff games right now, so our playoffs happen to start a little early.
That Tennessee game every year has always had so much hype.
The game's always fun for me, because, you know, I grew up a huge Tennessee fan. Like, my grandmother might have rolled over in her grave when I committed to Georgia.
I waited 40 minutes. Tate didn't answer his phone after numerous calls.
I was watching film preparing for the game this week. Thank you.
Terrible friend.
What about your tackle, though?
That's not a highlight.
That is a highlight.
That's probably...
You had to give a whole presentation on how to tackle after it. What were your 3 things? Be tough, be fast, and be tough.
Yeah.
Would you call that 2 premier athletes going one-on-one with each other?
The best of the best.
Welcome to Mullets on the Mic, powered by AgAmerica Media. I'm Tate Ratledge with co-host Brett Thorson. Today we'll talk about the Ole Miss game and the Tennessee game. Brett's Bulldog blind draft for me is something about my sister. We'll answer some of your Mullet Mailbag questions, and we'll talk about the upcoming game against UMass. New Mullets on the Mic episodes drop weekly on YouTube and wherever you get your audio podcasts. Let's jump into it.
All right. Hair of the dog.
Starting off with, I guess, the last time we recorded was before the Ole Miss game.
Yep. That's not hair of the dog. That's not a good segment.
No, that's not a good thing to talk about. But, yeah, obviously didn't turn out the way we wanted it to go.
Nah, not the result we were after, definitely. Some good learning curves to take away from the game. Tough environment. They played well.
They did play really well. They had a really good defensive line in it, and it showed. The offensive line didn't perform like we should have.
Yeah.
But
you can only
good tape to learn from, see what we can do better, and then moved on. But that was a pretty cool place to play, I guess.
That was awesome. It definitely felt a lot louder than it's about 60,000.
Yeah, it's a smaller stadium, and it got pretty loud in there.
Yeah. I thought especially it rained the whole game from start to finish, and I didn't really see a single fan leave. Obviously, they all ended up on the field.
Yeah, so. Twice. They rushed it twice. Yeah, what did you think about that?
I just wanted to go see the other Australians and say good game, but obviously I couldn't in the end. We because they went early, we ended up having to go off after that first one if we weren't on defense.
Yeah, so it's never happened to me before. Hope it never happens again. Didn't like that at all. It's not fun.
I lost my towel. Someone just flogged the towel.
You're like the one that goes in your pants?
Towel. Yeah.
It's probably hanging up in somebody's room right now, in a frat house.
I hope he enjoys it. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't going to do anything with it.
Using it for intramural games now?
Maybe, yeah. But no, obviously, yeah, good learning curve. So I think it eventually helped us to get to the Tennessee game.
Yeah, definitely gave us a little bit of motivation.
Yeah, where the result went our way. We had some good performances, especially
Can we talk about the performance that our fans put on? They got rocking. The blackout was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the fireworks. I've been petitioning for fireworks for 2 years now, and we finally got them.
It's weird we did wait 2 years.
They were sick, though.
They were awesome. The photos are awesome.
Oh, yeah. Did you see the one of Cash running out of the tunnel? Or not the tunnel, I guess.
No.
It was awesome. Fireworks in the back. Yeah, it was awesome.
No, it was. That is what I was going to say. My damn good dog was for the week was my parents being here and getting to witness that.
What did they think about it
from the fans? They've been here, obviously. They were at Ole Miss last year for their first night game, but obviously this year was pretty special. Yeah. So to the fans, that was, I guess, part of it.
Yeah, we applaud you. Y'all did a phenomenal job.
So thanks to them, and then obviously the Sanford Stadium crew. Stadium crew.
Stadium, there you go.
Yeah.
Spit it out.
Getting that. So, yeah, no, that was awesome. That and the music as well.
That was great.
The really good music.
The just stadium entertainment this game was elite.
No, well done. Well done.
The fans really showed out that game. I mean, after we scored that first early. I mean, we were walking in from the dog walk and the student section was full. I was like, what the hell is going on?
That was awesome.
After we scored that first touchdown, the crowd pop, like the noise was insane. Like, this guy. Brett is on the struggle bus today.
Not my day.
You suck. Actually, you don't suck because you were co-special teams player of the week, weren't you?
I was one of them, yes, along with a fellow O-lineman on our team.
I wasn't special teams player of the week.
Who was co-offensive lineman of the week.
Yeah. What about your tackle, though?
That's not a highlight.
That is a highlight.
That's probably
you had to give a whole presentation on how to tackle after it.
That's probably in the trenches, is me having to make a tackle. That's not good.
I told the media, they asked me about what I thought about your tackle.
Yeah, you didn't really talk me up much. What was that about?
Well, I did.
No, you said you were surprised I ran. That's not talking
I said, if you got there, you would make the tackle because you're built like a linebacker.
Yeah.
It was getting there that would be the struggle part.
You said it twice that you were surprised I ran.
Yeah, because I've never seen you run.
That's not a compliment.
I've never seen you run.
No, what?
When you weren't forced. Like at practice, I've never seen you run. Like summer workouts, you run because you're forced to.
Well, as you say, if you ever see me running, call the cops. Something is wrong. I'm being chased.
Well, that was a form tackle. What were your three things for tackling? Was it
Remember three things from the presentation.
Yeah, it was be tough, be fast, and be tough.
Yeah, three things.
So
Yeah,
you should have forced a fumble, so you got to put the Savage pads on.
That would have been cool. I didn't.
You didn't peanut punch. You weren't 6-inch punch right to the belly of the ball.
That did not occur in my mind.
You were thinking, get this fucker down.
The best athletes on the field and
in the stadium,
the SEC.
in the SEC, we're about to meet head to head.
Had me in a 1-on-1, so that was not in my repertoire.
Would you call that two premier athletes going 1-on-1 with each other?
The best of the best. That's what they
gave him a little extra too, just to make sure he was down.
That's just like natural AFL, like rugby kind of crossover between. That's just a normal thing that would happen in a game, but it was noticed apparently.
Are you going to come out next game with a cowboy collar? Just people know you're a big hitter now?
Just come out like a meathead.
Come out like an old school linebacker.
Yeah, eye black. I'll have the face mask. Like 12 grills.
You can wear mine.
Okay, thank you.
But, no, that was pretty impressive. What about your little dance?
Oh, you saw that.
Yeah, I did.
No one else saw it because the TV cameras didn't.
People on Twitter saw it.
Did they?
I think they were talking about it.
I think maybe a couple people saw it. I do have the video. The Georgia video crew got it, but the ESPN did not. So probably good because the flag got taken away.
Did you get hit?
I got clipped. Pretty nasty, pretty vicious.
Pretty good sell job though, falling.
Well, it wasn't. So it looks like a sell, but what I will say as a punter, when you punt, I leave the ground. So
yeah, I feel like most do, don't
they? Some do, some don't. So when you come down, if you know there's people around you,
you fall.
Your landing area is weird. So as soon as I felt him like kind of have that faint clip, I took all weight out of the leg. So if I like put all the weight into it and he went through it and I rolled my leg, I took the weight off the leg. So hopefully if he hit it, it could like go up and then I just hit the ground and don't fold my leg in half. So that is why it looked like a flop.
That's just called being an athlete midair.
Yeah, but that's just midair adjustments. I get so high off the ground with my massive vertical that it's a long way to fall. So,
all right, if you had to do the combine today, what would your 40 time be?
If I had to do it.
If we went outside right now, we put you through the combine.
I think we just pull up the game film.
What would your 40
game
be?
Film is more important than.
No, I want to know what your combine would be. What would your 40 time be?
I haven't ran it seriously.
5.3.
I think I would maybe turn out a 5.1 or 5.2. Okay.
I was going high, just hoping you would knock me back down. Vertical.
I don't know. 5.3.
What are we thinking vertical?
27, 28.
Okay, that's actually not bad.
Yeah.
I feel like
as a kid, I was a state high jumper, but
really
now I'm not high jump weight whatsoever.
Yeah. What would your weight be at the combine?
It would be around that higher 230s.
So a linebacker.
About that, yes.
I think we should put you at my linebacker.
It'd be fun, but I'd probably actually have one solid hit of someone trying to run through me. I'd throw in the towel and say, all right, come back, Jalen. All yours, Jalen, I'm done.
Yeah, do you have to meet a guard in the A-gap?
Yeah, no.
Well,
then I would
like to see you in the A-gap.
Then I would be fast.
I would love to see you in the A-gap.
You want me to run up?
On a blitz, I'd love to see you blitz the A-gap.
You'd laugh. You'd just start laughing and I'd run right by you. Bang, sack.
No, but... Do you think you got that special teams player of the week because of your tackle?
Yeah, I couldn't have. Like, thought I punted okay.
I might have got SEC play, the offensive line thing because I did the Desi Doe with Carson.
Well, no, obviously you played well. Did they give that out to a left tackle or left guard? Right tackle?
Offensive lineman. They gave it to 2 offensive linemen. I think Hayden Connor from Texas.
Yeah.
Was the other kid, but he's a good player too.
Yeah. How do you add that separation of how do you watch someone? Because there are a lot of good O-linemen, and technically it depends on the game, but is that someone that observes, is watching the game and says, right, no, like nothing went through him tonight, he moved well, he helped on blocks? Or is that, how do they separate that to be like, wow, this was a really, really good?
I don't really know because, like, it's funny because PFF, Pro Football Focus, I think is what it's called, I'll get sent their grades from people every now and then. And, like, a game that I think I played like shit in, or like Coach Searles, really. Like, I didn't grade well with them.
Yeah.
I have a high grade with PFF, so I'm like, how's this working? Like, what are they watching? But, like, I feel like a lot of times, like, there's some schemes, like, I feel like people understand because it's just general football schemes, and there's, like, some protections that are just, like, just different and stuff like that. But, like, I remember, I'm not going to say who, but somebody gave up a sack, and it was their fault. But, like, if you don't know football and you're watching it, you thought it was someone else's fault.
Yeah.
Like, he got the sack in the stat sheet on ours for us, but, like, everybody on, like, Twitter was shitting on this guy because they thought it was his fault. Like, somebody's eyes were supposed to be right here, and they were out here, and the guy next to him was expecting help, and
it didn't come.
The help wasn't there. Sacked the quarterback. But it's just stuff like that. Like, I feel like PFF people know football because they wouldn't have it.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have a job there.
But
it's just weird how that works.
Yeah, they don't know the play call. They're just viewing.
Yeah.
They don't know the call or the run or whatever. So I think punting hopefully is a little bit more black and white. But again, there's not the play call. I could kick one.
I feel like it's obvious
that way.
Yeah,
I feel like be the wrong way and whatnot. So
I feel like it's pretty obvious where you're supposed to be kicking the ball, though.
Yeah.
Like, especially like everybody's
missiles release and stuff.
But
that's definitely.
It was offensive line needed that game, though, for sure. They had a really good defensive line, too.
Yeah.
James Pierce, great athlete. Both tackles played well. That number 55 they had could pass rush. He had a bag. He had a few moves he pulled out. He got me on one, like, second play of the game. Carson caught it and threw it. Yeah. But I think I would have recovered just because Truss was so close to me, but he got me on one. I was like, oh, wow.
Well, no.
But their defensive line plays different than everybody else. They're like, you saw it in the team meetings, like how they played. It was just they were trying to penetrate, and it's just different.
No, they're a good defense. They're a good team. I think they're going to be.
The game's always fun for me, because I grew up a huge Tennessee fan. But like my mom said, one of the biggest arguments my parents ever got in was during a Tennessee-Alabama game that was really close. My mom got me to go say "Roll Tide" to my dad. My dad got pissed.
People will take football so personally.
Like, my grandmother might have rolled over in her grave when I committed to Georgia. Like, diehard Tennessee. Like, I haven't heard from people on that side of the family because I went here. They're that diehard of Tennessee fans.
That's wild. People are, I guess we describe it like a religion, college football.
It is. College football in the South is a religion. Yeah. Up north, I feel like it gets more like NFL. Yeah. Like, that's the bigger thing up there. But down south, it's high school football and college football. Like, high school football down here, and in Texas, high school football's crazy. Like, they have college stadiums there that their teams are playing in. Yeah. And they pack them out.
Yeah. That Tennessee game every year has always had so much hype into it as well, so...
Well, we're always both highly ranked usually going into the game. Like, they have a really good team. They've always played good. Yeah. Their offense is different. Mm-hmm. I remember I was like, we got to go on a drive. Like, we got to give our defense a break. And then next drive, we went on like a 17-play drive. Somebody called it on Twitter the UGA Death March.
The Death March.
But
17 plays is a lot.
That game last year was crazy. First play of the game, they take one back to the house, and that place exploded.
That was nuts.
I remember the first few plays of that game, like, you couldn't hear anything. Like, I'm sitting there staring at the ball, like, just hoping said, here's the snap count. Because I'm not going to move until that ball moves.
Right where we sit as well, it goes O-line, and then our little table where we sit is right in front of the student section, and they have a massive speaker right there, which didn't help.
Yeah, I bet. But you know what kind of makes me mad?
Yes.
It's cold. It was cold, right? The Tennessee game got a little chilly.
Cool.
All the skill players get those little heated benches, and we're just sitting over there on like folding chairs, just being cold with one heater like 15 feet away from us.
You guys got body heat, man.
You call us fat?
Not that.
Just bigger?
I was just hibernation ready. That's what I say when people call me fat. I'm just ready to hibernate.
I remember Searles was trying to go. I thought he was done going over stuff. Like we make our adjustments after every drive.
Yeah.
And I thought he was done. So I like walked off. I went and sat on the skill bench. I was just trying to warm up. And they were like, "Where's Tate? Where's Tate?" He had to go. So he like remembered something else he had to go over.
Yeah.
And they were like coming trying to find me. I'm sitting over there just warm.
They're really good, those benches. They actually get warm. I tried staying away from them because I didn't want to warm up. And then when I walk away from it, freeze up. I was trying to kind of stay in that neutral rather than riding a wave of hot cold.
Either stay cold or stay warm.
Yeah, so I was just trying to stay cold the whole time.
Usually that goes, but I like that weather. It's like heat. Heat when you're fat is not fun.
I don't like
going from the Florida game to like where it's hot to like the Ole Miss game. Ole Miss game got kind of cold, and then that game was cold.
I think the funny thing for me is the balls freeze up. The ball doesn't travel as far in the air. It doesn't float, and you might pipe a ball.
Do they keep your balls in heater? No. Pause. Do they keep the footballs you kick?
No.
So it feels like you're kicking an ice cube.
By the end of that game, that ball is nice and firm.
I remember when I punted in high school, after the end of the game, it'd feel like you're kicking an ice cube.
Yeah. So two of the punts, I thought I smashed. And even the second one, I thought I hit pretty well. And then you see the numbers in the sheet when we go in and look at the film. And I was like, crap.
Do you have a favorite ball? Like a singular favorite ball?
Type of ball or
no,
specific?
Like a specific one that we have in your bag. Is there one of those that's your favorite?
No.
In high school, I had one ball, and I was like, when I punt, I'm punting this ball.
We don't get to pick. We have to kick Carson's.
Really?
It's not a choice. There's 12 balls in a game ball bag. A little insight into the boring knowledge of game footballs.
Is that a rule? Like you can only have 12?
Yeah. So a game ball bag has 12. They all one of them is a kickoff ball, specifically for kickoff. So and they all have to be checked in to the game, and the refs have to check the PSI to make sure they're inflated enough.
Makes sense.
And then
not pulling any Tom Brady's out here.
And then they put like a color on them to signify they are checked into the game and they are good to use. Anyway, the way it works, or the way I've been told, some people are different. Some people somehow get a ball put in to punt with. We are different. What they tell me is if the ball stays inside the hashes, it can't swap. So the ball that's used on third down is then the ball that is used on fourth down. Another reason is if we then decide to go for it, they don't want to check in a punting ball. Carson gets it back there, goes to throw it, and it's a weird feeling. Let's say misses the throw. So I am kicking the quarterback balls that are slightly flatter and a whole lot more punty that haven't been kicked once until that Saturday.
Well, back to why I brought that up. In high school, I had one ball. Like this was the ball. Like when fourth down came, we were switching it.
Yeah.
And it was my favorite ball. Like it had the most pop to it. Like when you could just feel it.
Yeah.
And one game we didn't have it. I was like, where is my ball? Like I was pissed. And we won the game, and after the game, it was our coach's like certain number win. And they give him a ball that's painted, and it was that ball. And I was pissed. And I guarantee you it was still sitting in his office. That was my favorite ball. Yeah, so Coach Tate got what, I don't remember what number win it was, but they painted it for him. And that was the ball that I loved putting, and I was pissed.
One of the funny things was after Drew Bobo's first game starting, Coach Smart wanted to give him a game ball, which I've never seen done before. And he's like, I need a football. Someone has given him a wide receiver football. It is like 3 years old. It wasn't used in the game whatsoever. It's got a big wide receiver on it. He's like, how about a game ball for Drew? I saw it go up. I just like pissed myself. I was like, that's not a game ball. What's he going to do?
But I love Bobo, speaking of.
Awesome.
That's an awesome guy. And he's a good player, too.
Like
that's what people are like, oh, like he might just be here because his dad's he's a good football player.
He's obviously
like he could go different places, and he decided to come here. Yeah. And he works his ass off. Like this week, he took a lot of reps.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. He's been behind two pretty good centers, so
yeah,
it's not like
next year if Jerry leaves, Bobo will be our starting center, and Bobo will ball out too.
he'll go off.
Yeah.
Another guy from our class that the boys love him. Like he just brings energy in wherever you.
Everybody loves Bobo.
In the building, outside the building, he's a blast to be around.
How many interactions do you have with Coach Bobo?
Not heaps.
I love Coach Bobo.
See me.
He is hilarious. I love Coach Bobo.
He obviously he's trying to keep me off the field, so he's more than happy to.
Have you heard his pregame speeches?
Yeah,
he has never missed.
That always surprises
undefeated.
me. Him, Coach Smart, like that.
Coach Bobo gets me ready to run through a brick wall.
Time for Damn Good Dog.
Damn Good Dog.
Can we start with Damn Good Dog?
We can start with Damn Good Dog.
I've already said mine.
You have. It was
my parents witnessing the fans showing out for that game.
Mine was going to be the game, and that's one of them, definitely, just because of the atmosphere and everything. But I think it's the weather getting colder. You know, I'm a fat kid. For some reason, I really like to sweat. So this colder weather is amazing. It's fat kid weather. That's what I say every day at practice. Every time the offense, like today, everybody gets to warm up in the indoor where it's warm and stuff, but they said no line outside where it's freezing.
With us, with the real football players, we're out there, aren't we?
No, because when I go down there and warm up, y'all are just sitting there thumbing your nuts
outside in the cold,
doing nothing.
Outside in the cold,
doing nothing. You and Bo were sitting there bouncing balls back to each other.
We were actually trying to break into new football. Don't get a specialist start on footballs.
But I'm sure. Yeah, every time I go out there, I'm like, it's fat kid weather. Like Coach Searles before the game, he was like, it's cold outside. Like y'all should have no problem like going balls to the walls every play. Like there's nothing stopping you. Like it's cold outside.
To that good like right now, good temperature where.
It's fat kid weather, and this is your kind of weather too.
I wouldn't know because my body's a temple. But when I used to
the guy drinking a Coke. Where's the Coke?
I don't know. I think when I used to run on Monday conditioning, year one.
Used to. What happened to that?
We had a pretty good streak going when I wasn't running. All right, so when it got cold, my lungs and the air.
It hurts. It hurts.
That hurt.
It hurts.
So right now it's at that happy medium of being able.
Like I would rather play football in the cold.
Yeah.
But if I'm running, I'd rather it be warm.
Yeah.
Like if we're conditioning, I'd rather it be warm.
I kind of embrace it when it's really hot, just being able to go out there, put a water bottle over you.
Nothing feels better. You know the key, the trick is the put on your wrist. Spray it on your wrist. Apparently it cools your body down faster. You know who taught me that? And I actually looked it up, and it's apparently true.
Coach LB.
No, Jalen Carter.
Ooh.
Our freshman year. Remember, we were doing a team run outside. And JC was like, yo, Tate, spray it on your wrist. It'll cool you off faster.
Probably will if you think about the exposure. I've heard sunscreen on your chest. Because sunscreen is a thicker thing, and it's also protected. So it's not like it heats up, but if that makes that feel cold between your lungs, your heart and stuff, because it's thicker. But I've just heard that.
Really? Have you ever had sniffles and put Vicks vapor rub on your chest?
No, that's an American thing.
That is the greatest shit ever invented. It is the greatest shit ever invented.
I saw a machine. It's like a humidifier, but it's a Vicks humidifier. So you put the Vicks syrup in there.
I need it.
And it puts it in the air for when you're sick.
I need it.
And you can sleep with the Vicks.
My mom's favorite thing growing up when I got sick, no matter what it was ginger ale.
Ooh.
If you were sick, you're drinking ginger ale.
Yeah.
Stomach's upset, ginger ale. You have a headache, ginger ale. You're coughing, ginger ale. You broke your arm, ginger ale.
Yeah, we didn't get much soft drink, so soda. But if we were unwell, it was a lemonade or ginger ale, I think. But lemonade helped if you had if you were sick.
Do you like sweet tea? Do you like Arnold Palmer? No, you hate sweet tea.
It's not. If you have to call something sweet in the title of a drink, I feel like it's not going to be good.
Have you ever had it?
Yes, I tried it once.
And it's really good. Where'd you have it from?
Raising Cane's. Yeah, that's a good one, isn't it? Yeah.
You need to go Bojangles. If you try Bojangles and you don't like it, then I'll be like, okay, this guy just doesn't like sweet tea.
It's like drinking honey mixed in with water. It's
disgusting. Know who has oddly good sweet tea? At this Mexican restaurants. Their sweet tea is always elite.
They probably use a little bit more natural ingredients.
Yeah, probably.
In the trenches.
Let's hear it.
Yes, I showed up here yesterday, ready to film. I waited 40 minutes. Tate didn't answer his phone after numerous calls.
I was watching film preparing for the game this week. Thank you.
Terrible friend. And then eventually...
I honestly didn't. I got in my truck after and looked at my phone because I hadn't been on my phone. And I was like, oh shit, why did he call me so many times?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I didn't, I was like, he must have needed something. So I tried to call you back, you didn't answer, and then figured out today that you sat here for 40 minutes yesterday expecting us to be filming.
I'm really bad with that, where I will call someone if I need something, and then it gets fixed or it gets sorted, and they call back.
That's how I am. I'm like, I don't need you anymore.
I don't need you anymore. That's how I am. It's so bad.
If I called you and had a question for you and you didn't answer and I ended up figuring it out, I just wouldn't answer. And you'd be like, why'd you call me?
It's probably pretty bad.
I'd be like, nothing.
It's probably a bad trait. But I'm so bad with
My worst trait is texting people back. I do not respond to text messages. Like, how many text messages do I have? 656 unread text messages.
I have a new phone, so that's probably the best part of it, is not having text messages.
If you can see it, I have 656 unread text messages, which is bad. If you want to get a hold of me, you call me. That's you have to call me because I will
call you
obviously
five times and still didn't answer. But yeah,
but text I will not. I don't respond to text. It's bad. I just and I think about it too. I'm thinking about people I need to text back that have texted me.
Yeah,
and I just haven't done it.
Yeah, it's that awkwardness of seeing a text that you saw live and you knew you need to reply, and then 3-4 days later you see
oh,
it,
shit.
and you're like,
the worst is on your birthday. Because you can't respond, because you feel like an asshole for not responding, then you also feel like an asshole for responding 3 days later.
Yeah. What do you say as well to not be an asshole of, hey, happy birthday, I hope it's the best day or whatever? You just say oh, thank you. What else do you say after
thank
that?
you. I appreciate it. I
appreciate
it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't that's the only reason I don't like birthdays, because I don't like texted that many times.
Yeah.
And it's it's just the people you don't talk to a lot. Just the random people that reach out.
You're too Hollywood for them now, are you, mate? It'll be time.
No, it's people here. That I know from here, and they like to have, I haven't talked to you in a year and a half.
All right, guys, if you want to be nice and send Tate a happy birthday message, don't.
But I like being an asshole. So
Thank you to Georgia Football. They've saved me on so many birthdays.
Just the Twitter?
having it on their slideshow. Because it's been friends' birthdays, and I'll see it. I'll be like, oh, shit.
When is your birthday?
May 6th of January, so I never get a post. I think he's...
That's my sister's birthday.
Oh, it's fake.
Don't say anything. I'll kill you.
Speaking of your sister...
that could go into my damn good dog.
Okay.
Her and her friends came she goes to Tennessee. Her and her friends came, and I remember before I was like Annabelle, if something happens and we don't win, so get them the fuck out of my house. I was like, I will kill somebody if I walk in my house and I have 4 teenage girls heckling me about a game I just played in. I would kill somebody. But we walked in after, and they were all just all ready for bed and everything. I was like, oh, you ready for bed? I was like, y'all would be out right now if we would have won. Y'all would have won. When you're like, yeah, we would have.
Yeah,
But no, I don't get to see her a lot, so it is nice to see her. But especially, but she wanted us to win, is the thing, because she really wants us in the playoffs because her birthday is that time, and if we, Lord willing, we go to the semis, then it's in Dallas or Miami. She's like, I'd love for my 21st birthday to be in one of those places. I was like, you do not need your 21st birthday in Miami, Florida. That is the last place you need your 21st birthday.
Perfect timing, really. Perfect timing.
For her to have her 21st birthday in Miami.
21 and just straight to
Miami,
space or live. Is it? No. What's the...
I feel like she would be pretty out of place in Miami.
Yeah.
But I feel like Miami's an interesting place to go for your 21st.
It's almost too big.
Yeah.
There's too many options. You almost need less options so all your friends can go and get in.
Athens is like a redneck Miami. It's a lot of bars, just a small town.
Redneck Miami, where the biggest bar holds 50 people.
Not as many flashing lights and...
Yeah. That's the funny thing in Athens. It's not like there's big spots. Every bar is kind of smaller, so it's a lot more of a like a familiar crowd because it's the same people and everyone gets attached to their bars and their friends and stuff. So, not that I've ever been to a bar in Athens ever. I've only heard.
Only heard thanks to they're just people talking, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, speaking of your sister, it's time for Bulldog.
I've got to do my in the trenches. Do you not care about mine? Mine is actually from the game. There was one play where I like stepped on somebody's foot, and I was like you do when you're punting, like protecting yourself, and like knew that my ankle was like, and I was like, I went to protect myself, and I ended up like missing the block, not missing the block, but like the play was a wide play. And the guy ended up running down and making the tackle. And I was like, holy shit, Searles is going to give me a loaf for this. Sure enough, get the grade sheet, one loaf. I said, Coach, this from the black truck is? And he's like, yep.
Yeah.
I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Loaf.
I was pissed. I told him what happened. He said, loaf's a loaf. Doesn't matter how it happens. I was like, all right.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what happens. That'll sit with you when you know. I remember a certain play in the spring. Dylan Fairchild doing something, and then I see him in the meal room after, and he's like, "Man, that wrecked my day." He's like,
Dylan does that a lot, though. Dylan, like one play will just piss Dylan off the rest of the day.
Yeah, funny enough, it was on punt. So
but during fall camp, like your one goal is to not have any loaves because they put Baker of the Day up there, and for each position group. So.
Yeah. Well, it was on punt, so it actually shows the type of character.
Oh, I remember one day
that
Dylan was like pissed. He was like, I was like, Dylan, what is wrong with you? Like, we're like period 4 practice, like, bro, I got a punt blocked.
Yeah,
I was like, Dylan, like, how? He was like, I don't know. I was like, isn't the punt shield just counting? He was like, yeah. I said, there it is.
It shows the character of him, though. It genuinely wrecked his day that he messed up on punt. Like, a lot of people would be like, it's just punt, who cares? But he went out there.
KB tells me always, every time he sees me, he tells me I missed my calling. I'd have a mean inch technique.
Some of the greats have been there. Dylan Fairchild, Drew Bobo now, Chad Lindbergh, Warren Erickson. The greats of
Jamari used to be out there.
He did. I would have felt confident. I never got to punt behind him, but I would have felt confident no one was going through him. All right. Speaking of your sister, Bulldog blind draft time. I've been thinking, who would be the top 5 people you would want to date your sister?
Holy shit.
I was going to do would not want, but...
That I would want?
That you would want.
Nobody.
I was going to do wouldn't want, but I figure that may expose a few people. So I'm going to do would want.
Are they on the team?
Yes.
I have my number 1.
Yeah, I might throw it in there, don't you?
I have a, like, solidified number 1.
I am not part of it, so...
You're not. You would be 5. You wouldn't be on the list. I wouldn't rank you.
Top 5. 5 out of 130.
Force top 5.
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
First off the bat, Walter Blanchard.
Oh, 2.
Number 2.
I love Walt.
Okay.
Walter's a good kid.
Awesome kid, yeah. I will say I'm picking good people because it is a positive thing and trying to give praise to the
good guys
on the team, yeah. Number 2, Dan Jackson.
Ooh. Put Dan at 4. Put Dan at 4. I love Dan, but he's a little bit too old for my sister.
Okay. She's about to be 21.
He's old. He's like 27.
Yeah, old ass.
6 year.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we doing?
So old. Yeah. All right, Gunner Stockton.
Ooh. Gunner's gonna go at 3, and it's are you about? I don't know if you're about to fuck me over with number 1, but I have a solidified number 1 that I'm really hoping you give me. But Gunner's gonna go at 3.
Can you tell me offense or defense?
Offense.
In the O-line room?
No.
Oh, I know who it is. I'm going to change my order and take him out.
Don't take him out.
I know, yeah. It's in the same room as Gunner, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, that's an obvious one. Well, now I can't put him in there.
Yes, you can. Give him to me. Just please, just once.
All right. Jared Wilson.
See, I know Jared personally.
I had to pick one O-lineman. I was going to pick Cedric Van Pran and try and put him at 5 so you stitch up your best mate. But
Oh, man. See, that's the problem. Like, I'm really close with Jared. I would never let someone I'm really close to date my sister. Like, I feel like that's just against everything that you stand for. You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying you wouldn't put your best friend. You're going to put him last.
He's one of my really good friends. Yeah. But like I told you, I have that solidified one spot. You know what I'm saying?
Well, wherever you put Jared, if you put him at 5, I'm obviously going to take out and give you
that's fucked
a different
up.
number 1.
You should have. If you give me a bad number 1, Jared, I love you to death. And I mean, 5. What are you about to do? If you say something if you say the name on my mind, I'll walk out of this room right now.
I know. He was going to... I think we know the same person. He was going to be in Wouldn't Let. But, number 1... Colin Drake.
Number 1, Colin Drake. That's what I was waiting on. Colin Drake is the number 1. If I had a chance, Jared wouldn't be at 5.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Colin Drake is the solidified number 1, and I'm glad you gave it to me because he would be... Like, without a doubt, number 1. I'd probably put Jared at, 3, move Dan down to 5.
For those listening, these are the good guys of Georgia football. We are trying to give them credit.
Jared would probably go around 3.
Is there anyone else you'd kind of scrape into a top 10 besides myself?
What? You're at, 130. Let's see. I'd let Malachi. Yeah, Malachi could.
That was who it was going to be Malachi, not Cullen. But when I realized, I was like, wait, who is he not put at number 1?
Malachi's a good kid. I like Malachi. I'd be okay. I wouldn't be mad about it.
Okay, yeah. No, Malachi Starks.
All right, Mullet Mailbag.
Ooh. Let's get my thing right.
They're both for both of us. I'll read the first one.
Nice. Do you want me to give it a shot? I'm pretty good at pronunciation.
From Adam. Adam, I don't know how to say your last name. I'm sorry. This is via the YouTube comment section. For both of us, were y'all considering another school before committing to UGA? What were your other options? Can you talk more about the recruiting process? Well, Adam, you must not have watched one of our episodes when Brett thoroughly described that he didn't have a choice.
Yeah, I got stuck here.
Yeah, Brett didn't have a choice. Brett got sent here. And
maybe Georgia got stuck with me, unfortunately for them. That might be.
But for me, if you would have asked me my sophomore year, I was going to Bama. That's where I would have ended up. I loved Bama at that time. And then it came down to Tennessee and Georgia. And I'm not going to say anything that'll get me in trouble, but I ended up here, which was obviously a great choice. But, yeah, recruiting was much different then than it is now. You went to a place because you liked the place. My big thing is, could I see myself living somewhere 4 years without football? And then... So I really liked Athens. I really liked the people here. And then I remember I committed to Pittman. And I think this just kind of stands for what I said. I committed to Pittman. Pittman was the O-line coach. Love Pittman. Coach Pittman was the GOAT. And 7 days before signing day, he left to take the head job at Arkansas. And I was like, what am I going to do? Now, I remember he called me and he was like, Georgia's the place for you. You belong there. That's where you need to go. So here I am 5 years later. 5 long years later. 5 long years later.
Not that old, 20, right? 21.
I feel about 40.
Good thing is I have another question from Anonymous via email. For Brett. Actually, I don't have this question. For Brett. I love when foreigners try to speak American English without an accent. Can you tell us a brief story with your best American accent?
Go for it.
This is something, again, if you want to know, for people that walk up to me and say, can you please do an American accent? This is almost the number one
I'm sure.
worst thing of...
can you, though? Can you, kind of, dull out the accent? Because you obviously have, an obvious accent.
There's just so many American accents that I couldn't pick out one.
Southern.
I can do it on the fly when I don't think about it. If I was trying to make fun of someone. Have you... do you know, on The Other Guys, where he ballet dances to make... He learned how to ballet dance to make fun of someone. it's kind of like that. So if Dan calls me and I want to piss off Dan, I'll talk in it on the fly. But I can't.
All right, call Dan.
I can't generate it out of nowhere.
All right, make fun of me.
You don't really have an accent. You don't sound like a drop kick. You
All
don't
right.
sound like Miles Johnson.
Yeah, speak like Miles Johnson.
Nah, that's the thing. I can't do it. I don't know. It's almost like a nothing.
All right, can you
out.
talk without like the accent? Like, can you try to like dull out the accent?
It would depend on the words I was saying.
Like right there, you obviously clearly had an accent. And like,
Well, I tried not having an accent.
can you say
there.
Brett Thorson, Melbourne, Australia, without an accent?
Brett Thorson?
There it is.
There's
It's
an
in the Thorson. Thorson. You said Thorson.
Yeah, okay, so I meant to be slower. That's the thing, I pause when I go to do it, I freak out. And Brett Thorson. Now I just sound like a spastic.
Yeah.
But I actually struggle. If you get me one night and I've got a little bit of liquid courage, maybe I can spit out an American accent. But on the fly, it's just like this weird blocker. Can you do an Australian accent?
I don't like think so. Like, I know how you talk, but like when you said, what'd you call the parking lot?
Car park.
The car park.
Yeah.
The car park.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's weird.
I'm turning into the car
I
park.
can do other accents, but I get canceled for doing them.
Oh, in the video, I said footage. Is that not an American thing?
Yeah. No.
You guys don't say footage?
No, look at the film. Call it film, like I'm watching film, not footage.
Yeah, whoops.
The car park.
Yeah.
What'd you call where you parked? Like the space.
Oh, spot. You were probably taking up 2 car parks because you park like a dickhead.
But moving on to this week, we've got UMass, the Minutemen.
Back home again?
Yeah, back home. Glad to be back on senior night.
Going out there for what, the 6th time?
Second.
Sorry,
Asshole.
my bad.
So Truss and Dan are going out for the 3rd.
COVID years.
But
Dan's not even going to have enough space for the jerseys. Him and Truss.
But no, I'm looking forward to this weekend. Just another opportunity to play another team and try to work out some kinks in the offense and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Get stuff working.
I think I will say, especially last week, there was a good feeling in the locker room before the game and on the sideline.
That feeling in the locker room was different.
Yeah, it was good to see, and I think credit as well to the fans for the atmosphere they created, which just enhanced
I think we're in playoff mode now.
That is
so.
We got to win this one.
It's do or die. So
that's the thing.
You win, you're out. You win, you will keep winning. I mean, you lose, you're out. You win, you're in. So
yeah, exactly.
we're in playoff games right now. So
yeah, that's
our
crazy
playoffs
thing.
happen to start a little early.
Yeah, it's kind of. I think you then do really cut it up to week by week, of win this week, and that is all you think about. So it'll be good. Early game. Hopefully the sun will be out. 60 degrees with sun versus 60 degrees without sun is very, very different feeling.
Looking forward to it. Another opportunity. So
yeah, should be good.
Fun.
Well, that'll do for another episode of Mullets on the Mic. Thanks heaps for tuning in again. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment at Mullets on the Mic podcast on social media and wherever you listen to your podcast.
Go Dogs. Bam!
Yes.